near Grand Junction and the Grand Mesa investigating Bigfoot sightings. The Bigfoot sighting report we're going to give you happened to a youth leader at a Bible camp near Grand Junction. It was the Twin Peaks Bible Camp. We're on here looking around because we feel that the Bigfoot sightings that happened down in the valley around the Grand Junction area, we believe the Bigfoot are coming down off of the Grand Mesa. The Grand Mesa has superb habitat for large animals, deer, elk, moose. We believe the Bigfoot are coming off of here, so we're here to look around and give you the sighting report that happened to this youth at the Bible camp. The Bigfoot sighting report happened in 1999. It was in June. Here is the report. I was about 19 at the time, and I was a youth leader for a Bible study camp in the mountains. It's called Twin Peaks Bible Camp. At night, we all played games like glow-in-the-dark dodgeball, or went inside the cafeteria to play telephone or mystery date. Sometime before bed, we would go out and watch the bats dive bomb small rocks that we tossed into the air under the light above the back door. Another game we played at night up there is called Mission Impossible. The idea is that a camp counselor goes into the surrounding woods, which are cordoned off, and hides as best as he can. Everyone else, kids and group leaders, go to find the person, and then once the person is found, he gives you a slip that says he found you. If you are one of the first 5 back, you get ice cream, cake, or some sort of prize. Meanwhile, the other counselors are out with flashlights patrolling around looking for you. If you were spotted, you have to go back to the cafeteria and start over. While I was out looking for the counselor, I was hidden in the bushes next to the road leading to the cafeteria. Behind me was the baseball field. It was illuminated by a bright moon that was out. I had ducked into the bushes because of the 2 counselors who were searching walked right past me. It was about 11 p.m. at night. As I was crouched into the thick of the bushes, I was motionless, listening for anything that would tip me off to the whereabouts of anyone else. That is when it struck me. I couldn't hear any of the regular sounds from the woods. No chirps, no animal rustling, none of the natural sounds. I'm used to hearing these sounds night after night, but none of these natural sounds were happening tonight. As I started looking around, I heard light shaking of bushes adjacent to me in the baseball sidelines. I'm crouched about 5 feet from first base, and the bushes were moving over by third base. As I watched, figuring I would see one of the counselors or another searcher come out of the bushes, something else did. It was huge. Myself, I'm 6'4", and leveled off at this thing as it came out next to the fence, which was about 4 feet high. The fence came up to what I can only guess was its waist, which I figured would put it about 8 to 8.5 feet tall. Gigantic shoulders and a thin waist like you would expect on a bodybuilder. I was dumbfounded and shocked, but not scared, as it didn't seem to know where I was or that I was even there. It stepped out cautiously and took a few steps into the open to cross towards the outfield. About 2 steps into the field, it crouched down and looked toward the road as a couple of kids who got caught came around the bend and walked by me with their backs to the baseball field. Then as they got further away, I looked back, and it was back on its 2 feet, and it was moving in a flash. It was across the field in about 5 to 6 seconds, and in the woods alongside the mountain. When it ran, I could see its wispy hair in the moonlight, but I couldn't make out the color. After it left, I emerged from the bushes and spent the last of the evening in the cafeteria. My mother, who was a counselor, said I must have been cold because I was white as a sheet. This was not a bear. It was not an elk. It was not a deer. Looking back on a once-in-a-lifetime chance, I wish I would have gone down and done something foolhardy, like trying to walk up to it. Though hindsight is always 20/20, and I am glad I stayed put and just watched it. There was a follow-up investigation on the original report by BFRO investigator Dennis Full. Dennis Full states he's a credible witness, and he recently served as an NP in the military. The following notes are from an interview over the phone. When the figure apparently heard the kids coming along the opposite edge of the ball field, it suddenly spun around and crouched down. Wrapping its arms around its legs, turning its back partially towards the road, he said it looked like a large stump in that position. It stayed in that position until the children had left the area. After the kids had passed, it rose up quickly, spun back around, and continued in the same direction, but now at a faster pace. He described it as not running, but moving very quickly, taking long steps, swinging its arms very wide as it walked into the tree line. He described its arms as being very defined and muscular in the moonlight. It had a human-like form overall, but its hands came to a position just above its knees. Its head appeared to have a conical shape to it, with what looked like some matted hair on the back of its head. The hair seemed long on its forearms, legs, and the back. It seemed to be flowing backwards as it moved along. He could not tell its color, except for that it was dark in the partial moonlight. I hope you enjoyed this Bigfoot sighting report. It's one of the many reports in the Grand Junction, Grand Mesa, and surrounding areas of this part of Colorado that brings us to investigate Bigfoot. We love to go to areas that have a long history and many sighting reports. We consider this area of Colorado a Bigfoot sighting hotspot. I hope you enjoyed. Keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching.